Debonair. Okay.
What's good, y'all? Shout out to notification gang for hitting the like button. And if you haven't started yet, y'all the realest ones in it. I appreciate you anyway. Real quick, I want to have a moment of silence for Miss Jocelyn Peters. I believe that's her name. Jocelyn Peters, she had her life stolen from her by a man who basically hired an assassin. Something crazy. So I'm still trying to understand the full scope of the story. But RIP to her. Let's have a quick moment of silence, please. Yeah, man. RIP to her. Pregnant woman deleted in murder for hire plot. Let's get into it, y'all.
A pregnant 30-year-old is shot to death while sleeping in her home. As the story unfolds, it is found that this was a murder for hire. This is the story of Jocelyn Peters. Jocelyn Peters was a third-grade teacher when she started dating Cornelius Green. Cornelius was a former principal, not at the same school that Jocelyn worked, but he had recently lost his job due to stealing money intended for a field trip. He was also married but estranged from his wife. During the relationship, Jocelyn became pregnant, and at the time of her death, she was 7 months. On March 24th, Cornelius would enter
Was she pregnant by him?
Jocelyn's unlocked apartment and found her deceased from a gunshot wound to the head. There was no sign of forced entry. A friend of Cornelius's, 35-year-old Philip Cutler, would be charged and arrested in the murder of Jocelyn in June of 2016. Even though he claimed he acted alone, police became suspicious when they noticed Cornelius sent Philip $2,500. In October of 2016, Cornelius would also be arrested and charged with her murder. During the investigation, police would uncover the timeline of events that led to Jocelyn's murder. Now, Philip was originally from Oklahoma, and he flew to St. Louis on March 21st after receiving a package containing the money that he received from Cornelius on March 7th. Cornelius then picked up Philip from the bus stop and drove him past Jocelyn's apartment to let him know, hey, this is where she lives at. This is how you get there. The next day, Cornelius went on vacation in Chicago to distance himself from the crime. However, he left his car keys with Philip, which contained Jocelyn's apartment key. In the early morning hours of March 24th, using Jocelyn's own key, Philip entered her home and shot her once in the head, killing her and her baby instantly. He used a .380 caliber gun and a potato to silence the sound. Surveillance footage would place Cornelius' car near Jocelyn's apartment during the time of the crime, and also cell phone records would place Philip in the area during the time. Cornelius is also being charged with 3 counts of receiving stolen property. Now, the money that he stole, which is the reason why he was released from his job, he had actually stole a total of $2,700 from a student dance group. That was the field trip. And he used part of that money to pay Philip for the murder.
So, okay, so it wasn't at the same school that she worked at. He was a principal at somewhere else and then ended up losing his job because he was stealing damn money. It's $2,700. And principals, depending on, I don't know, in Florida, principals here make some pretty decent money. We're talking about a good 60, 70K minimum, which is not, oh my God, great, but that's pretty decent money. Definitely more than $2,500 every 2 weeks, right? I just don't see the need to lose my job over $2,500. That's stupid within itself. That lets me know that this man makes terrible damn decisions. Number one. Number two, for him to sit there, and again, I'm asking, was she pregnant by his baby? I don't know. He makes terrible decisions, and I'm saying all that to say to myself, I'm like, yo, you threw your whole life away for $2,500. Both of them, $2,500. Money that you can make within 2 weeks. Money that you can make in a month. I'm sure if you was to walk around your house and just threw everything on eBay or at the pawn shop, you'll be able to come up with at least about $1,500 to $2,000 right there. Easy. You did all that for what? I'm thinking to myself, it had to have been this man's baby that she was pregnant. Was it a situation where she was pregnant? I'm sorry, well, she was aside because they said he was married. Because again, y'all, I'm still trying to understand the story, so forgive me. Is it a situation where he got her pregnant? She was a side chick. He got her pregnant. He begged her to get rid of the baby. She said, "No, I'm keeping this damn baby, and I'm gonna tell your wife what the case may be." And it prompted him to do something as far as do this. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with different scenarios in my head because I'm not fully understanding the full scope of this, of why he would do this. Regardless, there's no justification. There's no reason to justify why you would do something like this. Let me just say that. But I just don't. I'm just trying to think of different scenarios in my head of like, okay, well, I can see what he would do, and I just can't think of any. The only thing I can think of is she was a side chick to him. He was sleeping with her for however long he was sleeping with her. Ended up getting her pregnant. He didn't want the baby. Told her, "Yo, get rid of the baby." She said no. She was going to keep it or whatever. And then he, in turn, hired his homeboy to do that and could barely afford it because you had to use the money that you stole from whatever dance club, and use that partial money to pay for it. So you couldn't even afford the $2,500 to pay for this assassin. Y'all want to talk about a man being broke? I ain't saying I got it like that either. I'm not saying that. Hell, somebody y'all cash at me $5. My link is in the description. Y'all cash at me. I'm broke. I ain't got it. But no, seriously, man. I just, what would first again just dumb. He's stupid in general, but I think the other guy's name was Philip. Philip, whatever his name is. Philip is just as dumb, just as broke, if not worse. You think I'm about to lose my life, jeopardize my freedom for $2,500? $2,500. That's not happening. That's not, bro. I make further enough. I ain't gonna tell you what I make. I'm broke. So my cash out. But I make that already in 2 weeks. What are we talking about? You needed the money that bad, sir? I would sit there and say to myself, okay, cool. You needed the money that bad. Why wouldn't you just go out and get a job? Why wouldn't you go out? Matter of fact, before you even get to that far, why wouldn't you just use condoms? Before we even get that far, why not just use condoms? Y'all boys is dumb as hell, and you deserve everything that's going to happen to you when you're in prison. You took this girl's life. She was her life, and she was pregnant. Make that make sense.
In 2017, prosecutors were asked that the death penalty be considered in the case. The motive police believe was due to Cornelius being married and Jocelyn becoming pregnant. And in March of 2022,
So there we go again. I haven't seen this video yet. My bad, y'all. So there we go.
a federal grand jury indicted Cornelius and Philip on a murder for hire charge. Jocelyn intended to name her daughter Micah, so may Jocelyn and Micah both rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. I don't condone cheating. Y'all, I say this all the time. I don't condone cheating. But the older I get, the more and more I understand people cheating. If you're going to cheat, fellas, ladies too, but ladies and fellas, if you're going to cheat on your man or your woman or whoever, your significant other, if you're going to cheat on that person, I would say just do it respectfully. There's no respectful way to cheating, right? But do it respectfully. Use condoms. Use some type of preventative measure to stop her from getting pregnant. Ladies, use some type of preventative measure that'll stop you from getting pregnant by your side dude. Assuming she knew he was married, I would assume that she would be doing everything in her power to make sure that she doesn't get pregnant. I would assume that you, as a man, would make sure you would not get her pregnant. Again, assuming she didn't know about it. Whether she knew about it or not, maybe she just wanted a baby. Who knows? I don't know. We hear these type of stories all the time where a woman thinks that, oh, I'm going to have his child, and that's going to mean that we're together and all other stupid stuff. Y'all know how that goes. But come on, man. R.I.P. Miss Jocelyn Peters. R.I.P. To her unborn baby, Micah. I want y'all to comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought about this video, man. Thanks for watching. And until next time, please, man, be safe for Erica.